Hey, what's up guys? I'm going to show you how you can make a GamePass shop in Roblox Studio. It's very simple and I'm going to show you every single step. The first thing we will need is the UI. So in Starter GUI, you want to create a screen GUI, and in here we'll have two things. One will be a text button. You can make this an image button if you want. I'm just doing a text one for the showcase. And then you just want to have a frame here, and inside the frame you want two other buttons. This is where you can add more and more buttons for more game passes that you want to add. I'm only going to do two so I can show like for different game passes, you know. But yeah, you can add more. It's all up to you. And the UI stroke is just a small UI thing to make it look a bit nicer. But yeah, that's all we need. Next thing, we need to go inside the local script. This will be where we manage the Game Pass IDs and actually clicking the buttons. Also make sure you keep this frame to visible off, because in this script we will be opening it with the button that we made here. So this is the script. It's quite simple, as I said. All we need here is replicate the storage, the player. We don't need the character, but I'm adding the character just so we can be sure that you're loaded before you press anything. You don't really need the character, but I don't want to add any wait for childs in here. This is the actual remote where we're going to be firing. The reason we need to use a remote is because if we do the Game Pass purchasing from the client, it can be a bit risky if people start hacking in your game. So we're going to use a remote, which is in here, replicate storage. I called it Game Pass remote. You can call it whatever you want, if you understand like how variables and stuff work. If not, just follow this word by word. So yeah, and then here we just have the actual UI, which will just be inside of the player. Because you see how we have Starter GUI here. When you actually play the game, the GUI will change to Player GUI. All the stuff that's in Starter GUI will get cloned into each player, and under the player you'll have a thing called Player GUI. That's where all the UI and stuff inside of Starter GUI goes to. So we'll just access it like that. Next, you need the IDs for your game passes. Okay, and I will actually show you how you get these IDs or create the game passes to actually use this. So yeah, let's go do that. Now you want to go to whatever the game that you're trying to make the game pass for is. In this case, it's just this one that I made right now called GamePass Shop. And inside of the game, also this is the creator hub. You can just find this at like the top here or something. It's called create. Then you want to go to dashboard and then creations right here. But yeah, then go down to passes over here, and you can just create a game pass. Very simple. Call it whatever you want. Add description if you want to. I don't need to for the moment. And when you've done that, click the three dots to copy the asset ID. And to actually set the price, you just want to click it, go to sales, turn this to on, and then you can put the price in here. But yeah, as I said, to copy the ID, you want to press copy asset ID, and then you'll go back into Studio and you'll just put the ID in the table that I had there. So yeah, that's how you get the IDs. Then you just throw them in here for whatever ID it is. I already put them in, so I'll just leave it as is. And now we just want to move on to the final part, which is we fire it through this remote. So this is just when you press the buttons. So this is for the Game Pass number 1, and this is Game Pass number 2. So button 1 up, when we release the button on the mouse, we will just fire through this remote the ID for the Game Pass. So in this case it's Game Pass 2, in this case Game Pass 1. So let's just say we're pressing the first one, it'll send through this, and then we get to the final script, which is here. It's a server script in server script service, and in here we need these two services: replicate storage again and marketplace service. Marketplace service just handles like their products and game passes and stuff like that, and the replicate storage is just this. This is the remote that I added in there. So when the remote is fired, we'll connect function, make it into a function, and these are the things that we need to receive through it. So the player is always the first thing that you have to receive from a local script, so we'll just put the player there, and then the Game Pass ID, which is this that we sent through. So now all we want to do is just add a pcool to make sure that we can actually buy the Game Pass. So if we do own the Game Pass, then it will warn us and just tell us that we already own the Game Pass. And if we don't, then it will use Marketplace service to actually make us buy the Game Pass. And if it wasn't even a success, then that means that we've messed something up with the Game Pass IDs and stuff that we put in there, because it couldn't even find the Game Pass. But yeah, this just checks if we actually own it. User owns Game Pass with the player user ID and for the actual Game Pass, and it sends that back. And here is where we check what to do depending on what happened here from the pcool. But yeah, that's it. And I already showed at the beginning how it looks, but I can show it again. So I'll just press play real quick. You open the shop, see it works, opens. For the first Game Pass, I already own it, so it won't do anything. But you do see here that it prints out player already owns the Game Pass. And for the second one, it will actually prompt me because I went to my inventory and deleted the Game Pass on purpose so that you can see it here. Now I can buy it, but I can still buy it again because this is in Studio, so it won't actually buy the Game Pass and put it on my profile. That's why I can just keep buying it. But you do see that it will stop you if you already do have it. That's everything.